right, welcome back to a whole new episode of the Central Florida Huddle right here on Varsity Sports Network. We are live from the Miller's A House here in Oviedo. I'm Dan LaForest with Coach Kyle Hayes and Balin Trujillo. Guys, we have a great show tonight brought to you by the United States Marines. Guys, how are you doing?
Pretty good, man. Look, week 4 is down. Week 5 is on its way. Can't wait to see what's going to happen. We saw some great games here this past week. Balin and myself had a chance to cover the Edgewater-Orlando Jones game. Straight exciting, man.
Yeah, we had some great football, didn't we, Balin?
Yeah, we sure did, man. That's obviously my favorite game of the week for personal reasons, as well as just the experience of being a part of an Edgewater Jones game. I mean, Coach Hayes and I had an amazing time. It was a great atmosphere. I'm just glad the game actually got in. We're finally, I think, starting to see the end of the weather forecast. Yes, we do see it every day, but looking at the radar from this point on, I think we should see some clearing on Friday night, so we're going to get some really good game action in. But, yeah, man, I'm excited. Sad that it's halfway over. But, you know, like I said, that also means we still have another half of football and then playoffs. So I'm really excited about this, Dan and Coach Hayes.
Well, let's take a look at some of those highlights from the Edgewater Jones game.
I'll tell you what, that was the best game, hands down, no doubt, on Friday night this past week. But Coach Hayes, man, what was your thoughts in this game watching this? I mean, this was probably one of the best passes all night that we saw. Cut the game in half at that point. It was definitely a close matchup. But what was your thoughts on the game as we covered it?
I mean, it started off right. You know, Jones comes out, they move the ball a little bit, they punt. The Eagles come out, their second play from their first start. Cedric Baxter takes that thing 92 yards to the house, baby. Takes it 92 yards to the house, and then it kind of slowed down a little bit, right? They both were fighting, throwing jabs and stuff. Go out at the half, come back. Second play from scrimmage. Cedric Baxter takes it approximately around 60 or so yards. Big time play right there, but it was kind of, at first it looked like Edgewater was going to kill it, but then what happened? Jones comes back at the second half and makes some adjustments. And like you said, that great throw right there at the beginning was awesome, man.
Yeah, here's the touchdown run that Coach Hayes just mentioned. The second play of their offensive series on their first drive. He takes that bad boy 90 yards for the touchdown. Set the tone. He was already 10 yards away from 100 in the ball game. Obviously, he broke that with the 60-yard touchdown later on. I think Jones, other than those two big runs, they really controlled the narrative when it comes to their run game, and they did a really solid job of containing Cedric Baxter. Obviously, those two big plays was the difference in this football game, and the block extra punt or a point. But Coach Hayes, there was something in this game that we tend to see where we don't usually see with two great head coaches is a lot of penalties. There was a lot of penalties in this football game that hurt both sides. I think the first half it really hurt Jones. They couldn't get any momentum, but in the second half, the Eagles, I mean, my goodness, they just gave Jones so many opportunities to win that football game.
They sure did, and you just got a chance to see that penalty. It was an amazing penalty, Dan. Like, I never saw it. They called that ball a fumble. Everybody's playing like the play is over. The receiver from Jones picks it up, walks it all the way back, and that's where the referees actually spot the ball because they deemed it a fumble at the point. Everybody thought it was an incomplete pass. We're like, okay, everybody's confused. You can see right here, the refs are huddled up on the huddle. They're trying to figure out what's going on. Coach Cam Duke is about to pull all his hair out. No one knows what's going on. We were so confused, and we never got any indication on the field of what was actually happening. They put the ball down. We thought it may have been a penalty, no yellow flags. We didn't know, but we're back in action right here. Jones has the ball here, and they're getting ready to throw this deal downfield, or get the sack, rather. Here by number 33.
That was a big
time
momentum
play.
change right there. They had just got an opportunity to be in the red zone, and there was a big sack right there that pushed Jones back, turnover on downs. They get it, and then there it is, the second play of the second half. See you later, alligator. In bust we trust, in four we trust, as Coach Hayes says, for the touchdown there to really put it up 14 to nothing at that point. And then again, Jones cut it in half. And then at the end, as we saw, you guys will see later on in the highlights, Jones had the missed extra point. But I'll tell you what, man, with about 3 minutes left in the game, Coach Hayes, I think the difference maker in this whole game was the special teams turnover. They had an opportunity to get the ball on the 30-yard line, and then they muffed a punt, which you're probably going to see here shortly. This is the touchdown right here for Jones to cut it in half. But, man, I'll tell you what, that was the biggest play of the night. Special teams was obviously the difference maker in this football game with two great programs and, again, two great, well-coached teams. This was probably the most exciting game we're going to see quite some time. Now kind of the schedule for a lot of the powerhouses kind of get a little bit easier. I won't say most of them, but some of them. But like I said, this game was hyped up to be, Coach Hayes.
And here you have the block kick right here to kind of seal the deal for the Jones Tigers. I mean, but it was a game really of special teams.
Yeah.
Even though Cedric Baxter had those 2 big runs, Jones punter actually did an exciting job.
Yeah, he's the player of the game for me.
He actually kept the Edgewater back in their territory. I mean,
Yes,
he had
they
a
did.
big leg. He was booming that ball down the field. But eventually, like I said, those 2 big runs, Tigers just couldn't overcome it. They got down there to get there, at least to tie it up. They get the block, and they walk away with a W.
Now, I'll tell you what, Dan, the coolest part about this game is this might not be the only time we see them this year play each other. With the new districting and how FHSA has done it, they are now in the same district. So Jones and Edgewater had the opportunity to play in the second round of the playoffs, and based off strength of schedule, which it is leaning towards Jones will have the home field advantage again and have to see Edgewater to play at home, and Edgewater has to go on the road to play Jones again. It's hard to beat a great team twice, right, Dan?
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, we're already talking about playoffs here in week 4.
We both know they're both going.
Hey, listen, at the end of the day, we're going to be seeing those brackets. We're going to be starting to take a look at what those playoff scenarios look like within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
I cannot wait. You always have a great playoff show, Dan, and I'm excited to be a part of that again this year. We're going to give that to you guys right here on VSN later down the line. But, yeah, this was arguably the 2 best teams. Obviously with Seminole in there and Osceola that we saw last Friday night.
And definitely, as we go into just rounding this deal out again, Edgewater wins this deal. They keep their thing going 4-0. And right now, my thing due to the week should have been Cedric Baxter the way he ran that ball.
He definitely is due to the week.
He put the team on his back. They kept him on the wraps a little bit so far as the Tigers. But let me tell you something. Cedric Baxter put the team on his back, bust those things wide open. And there you have it, man. That's that game for the week.
And ironically, he's also the Orlando Touchdown Club Player of the Week as well.
There you go. Congratulations.
So the hard work keeps racking up for the new #1 running back in the nation. 5-star, right, Balin?
Yeah, they gave him the 5-star this week, and I know Texas had a great win this past weekend as well, which Cedric was able to go to after Friday night's game. And I know that running back right now at Texas is arguably the best back in the country. So Cedric gets to go to a team that's already has high expectations at that position, and I think he's going to fill in just fine. No doubt about it. Hopefully he's a Cane, but we'll see about that.
Well, we're going to take it from Metro Orlando to Orlando North into the Daytona Channel, where I got to give a call on the Daytona Channel with Alex and Bernone on the Lake Brantley, Lake Mary rivalry game, and a lake it was. I tell you what, that is a great game, the Battle of the Lake, also known as the Mayor's Cup, and it was postponed Friday, playing Saturday, and right there you're going to see a freshman Noah Grubbs make his first pass connection to Ethan Hartsberger for 57 yards. The extra point is good. And Lake Brantley comes right back with senior Braxton Woodson. Actually, there is a turnover there.
Great game for quarterback.
And you're right, Noah Grubbs really played well. You got Manquez, Lang, run-through guys, bumbling and stumbling, carries guys into the end zone. And with that team touchdown, Lake Mary goes up 21-7. And then right back comes Lake Brantley with Braxton Woodson. Actually, they get the touchdown there. And then this is where the game turns right here. Tip pass to UCF commit Andrew Harris takes it to the house for a 52-yard touchdown.
Let me tell you something. Those 2 young men are under the radar players. Those guys can play. They just don't have to.
And I can tell you now, that's when the momentum changed.
There
That's
it
where
is.
Braxton Woodson takes it
Winner,
in from about 3 yards
chicken
out.
dinner.
And then ironically, they're going to go for 2. And that's exactly what he does. He
Great
takes
play
that
call.
end half, that dive, gets around the edge. Lake Brantley goes up 22-21 and wins and breaks that 7-game losing streak.
Wow.
So Lake Mary upsetting the undefeated Rams, and what a game. Well, guys, let me tell you, the dude of the week from that game
Your boy,
is Andrew Harris.
Andrew Harris.
That 52-yard interception was
Game
the
changer.
difference in the game. Momentum swung in, and Lake Brantley got that win. And after that game, I had a great interview with head coach for Lake Brantley, Skip Clayton.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this, man. You say due to the game, I'm going to just go with it just like this, Dan. Let me tell you something. I'm an American patriot, right? That was the name of my high school. And when those guys came in last week, I gave him some of my mojo, and I told him there's only two kind of people in this world: those who are patriots and those who want to be patriots. And it got him the extra point for the W. Dan.
Well, I tell you what, it was a great day on Saturday. Great weather. They got the game in, and congratulations to Lake Brantley Patriots. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got more right here live from the Ale House here in Oviedo. You're watching The Huddle.
Marijuana can impair your ability to drive, and that affects much more than just you. Drive baked, get busted.
We use helmets, mouth guards, shoulder pads, chest protectors, and knee, elbow, and shin pads for protection and prevention. One of the most important, yet neglected parts of the body are the ankles.
Research shows that more than 30% of all sports injuries are ankle-related, and 62% of all ankle sprains happen during practice and training. Just think about it. Very few sports can be played with an ankle injury, and it can take 1 to 3 weeks to heal, sometimes months to get back to full strength and mobility. Preventing an injury is key in any sport and applies to any job where you're on your feet all day as well.
Prevent Sprain socks were scientifically designed and engineered for support, stability, and performance.
Stay active with PreventSprainSocks.com.
We're often asked, what's more important in retirement, having a great plan or working with a great advisor? The answer is that both are vitally important to your retirement success. Retirement planning is not just a one and done. Even the best plans will need to be adjusted. That's exactly why you need an experienced partner to guide you on your journey. How confident are you? Call us today for a second opinion.
Are you in the market for the finest athletic apparel available? Check out theimperialpoint.com. Fully sublimated designs, top quality, made in the USA apparel for any team and any fan. Check them out today at theimperialpoint.com or give them a call at 800-801-4884. Imperial Point Apparel, made in the USA.
Searching for meaning in a relentless world. Always connected, but somehow alone. Trapped by illusion. We offer another path, where the battle to belong begins. Awakened by a calling. United by the cause you fight for. No one can take away what it means to be among the few, the proud, the Marines.
And you're watching Varsity Sports
Varsity Sports Network. We are live here at the Ale House in Oviedo, and we had another big game that was rescheduled to Monday night due to weather from 2 weeks ago, and that was Palm Coast at Mainland.
Yeah, that was probably I got to watch this game on BSN, and man, that was one of the best football games that I've seen. Not because of the talent, maybe because of, obviously with Mainland, they're one of our top schools, but just a great football game back and forth. It definitely came down to the wire, and as you guys are going to see these highlights coming up, Mainland also came into the season with a lot of hype, as we talked about, with the transfer quarterback to Marcus Creasy from Spruce Creek, and up to this point, offensively, they have been inconsistent, really. To their defense, they've obviously had rain delays and cancellations, but they're not the team that we really thought they were, but they're coming together, as you see right here to Marcus Creasy. Actually, Flagler Palm Post goes up quick, early, 3-0 in this football game because they came out striking quick behind their quarterback. But Mainland responded in the second quarter with just before half to take a 14-10 lead over the Bulldogs, as you're going to see these highlights coming through. Flagler Palm Coast started the second half the same way they did in the game. Scored a touchdown to put them up 16-14 with just over 8 minutes left, which carried into the fourth quarter. But the Bucks put together a very impressive drive down the line behind their star quarterback. And, man, this was, again, one of the great games as you see here. It's already 16-14 in the fourth quarter. But you start to see DeMarcus Creasy settling in, Deacon and Duncan having the run game, which is really opening the pass game for Mainland. And again, they come away with the impressive win, 22-16. I'm telling you what, right there's DeMarcus Creasy, special talent. This guy that I've obviously been blessed to train. Again, a phenom out of Spruce Creek. I know they probably wish they had him, but here's the game-winning touchdown right here, right up the middle. 6 call-it reservations for the win. And Flagler Palm Coast, again, they came in not really showing a lot during the season, but this was probably their best game played, and they almost came away with the victory. As you see the knee right here by DeMarcus Creasy, and there is the W for Mainland, 22-16. A big win, especially not having any weeks really of playing football and a lot of cancellations. Flagler Palm Coast at least has gotten a couple games in, but Mainland has been waiting and waiting and waiting. And guess what, Dan? They've actually been on – they were supposed to be televised for a lot of these weeks, and we just keep canceling on them. So it's finally great to see them play. They're now 2-1 is their record. They've got 3 games in while most teams have 4. And there you have it with the W over Flagler Palm Coast. Thanks to DeMarcus Creasy, the quarterback over there.
Yeah, and that was Palm Coast's first loss of the season, obviously. Yeah. So, and a lot of people don't know, that is a big rivalry between Volusia and Flagler County.
Yeah, no doubt.
And what a game that was.
There is your player of the game, the dude of the week, as we call it. He's number 1, the receiver, Jaya Harris, senior. He had 22-yard TD reception, 2-yard TD run, and a 2-point conversion in the game. Also, DeMarcus Creasy, you are an honorable mention. He finished 21 of 26 for 281 yards and 2 touchdowns on the night. Just a special game overall for both those guys.
Yeah, and congratulations, Coach Rowland and the Buccaneers. That is definitely a big win for them as they get ready for the rest of the season. Well, let's take a look around Central Florida and take a look at some of the other scores from this past weekend.
Yeah, there were some big-time matchups, guys. The top 5 private schools and also the top 10 schools that we had matching up. We're going to start off the scores with number 5 Mount Dora Christian losing to Foundation on the road, 21-7. That was an upset. I called Mount Dora win. I know that Coach Hayes called a Foundation win. He got the W, so that's a shout out to Coach Hayes. Number 4 Windermere Prep puts it on Riverdale Ridge, 42-21. You have number 3 TFA beating Orangewood 22-8, and you have our number 1 private school team Lake Highland Prep blowing out Masters Academy 42-7. Now we're going to move to our top 10 schools.
Too,
we both did.
Okay, I just making sure.
No, Lake Highland's a real deal. Our top 10 schools. Here's the one right here. The first one of the season for the number 10 Cocoa over Space Coast, 76-0. We were waiting for Cocoa to come out, and a lot of people are saying why they're still ranked. They're 0-2, guys. They're 2 teams that they lost to, Jones and St. Thomas Aquinas. You dang right, they're still a great football team, and you see it right there. That was in the first half, guys. 76-0 was the halftime score. Blake Boda was 16 for 16, over 300 yards and 7 touchdowns in that football game. Talk about dude of the week. Number 9 West Orange loses an upset to Wekiva 25-13. Did not see that coming. They are really missing their quarterback Trevor Jackson. That's just something that that was surprising. I think Dan Bobby, sorry, Dan.
Well,
actually, shout out to Bobby Latmore.
Yes,
he picked
the
Wekiva
producer
to
here
win that
today.
football
I just
game,
want to jump in here,
and
guys.
He definitely got that W.
I just want to jump in here. I don't have the video from last week, but I want you to guys recognize who picked that game and the winner of that game.
Bobby Latmore got the W.
Do it right now because
did not see that coming.
Call me, but they. Game Day has the bear. You got the producer over here.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
So you guys are going to be coming to me for everything coming up here pretty soon.
Latmore with a timeout.
You know what? We've got it.
Hey, Bobby, I owe you a zinger.
You owe me a zinger.
Over there on the table.
You go get it over there off the table. Over there.
Number 8 Lake Mineola blows out East Ridge. All of us saw that coming. 60-6. Rockledge destroys Bayside 42-0. Winter Park keeps rolling 35-0 over University. Number 4 Osceola was a big game of the week. I called Osceola. The other 2, Bobby Latmore and your boy Hayes, picked Lakeland. They won 25-22. Great matchup there.
Yes, they did.
I can't pick Osceola anymore. Number 1 Seminole destroys Evans 51-0. And then our games of the week we just mentioned. Number 9 Lake Mary loses to Lake Brantley, and Edgewater beats Jones 14-13 in a great matchup.
And for I trust, I called it.
Once a Patriot, always a You had the Patriots going behind you. You were good.
Yeah.
That
so
was
those
good.
are their scores. Also, shout out to Dr. Phillips for getting their first win of the season this past Monday night on a postponement game. They beat Ricky Smith. His first audition against Dr. Phillips at Windermere. They lose 35-7 Monday night to Dr. Phillips.
And for a lot of you guys that don't know, Coach Smith was a longtime assistant at
awesome
Dr. Phillips. So it was a homecoming, if you will, for Coach Ricky Smith to come back to Dr. Phillips and go up against his buddies over at Dr. Phillips. So But, you know, Coach, we had some top 5 plays as well.
Yeah, man, we did. We definitely had some top 5 plays. Then we're going to pop the footage up here. We definitely talk about those things, man. I mean, guys, football is exciting.
Yep.
You see guys doing all type of things here, man.
No doubt.
And you know, Balin, you talked about the Cocoa game. Cocoa, you're absolutely right. They're still a great team. Yeah. They just played top talent.
Exactly.
They sure did, man. Let's take a quick look at these top 5 plays of the week. Number 5, right here.
Number 5 right here, the play. Look at this play right here. He takes it to the crib.
And he riding, baby. He got
Leon Washington from North Florida Christian in Tallahassee takes it to the house for our number 5 play of the week.
Number 4 coming up here. Let me tell you something. This is gonna be exciting. Hold on to your seats. Watch this kickoff, baby. But what's going to be better is watch this return.
Yes, sir. Devon D. Tyson, the senior wide receiver from Walton High School, baby, takes it back to the crib. Hayes.
He got some wheels.
Looking like Devin Hester back there.
I tell people all the time, when guys were number 1, is either they're the coach's son or they're the best player on the field. And this dude is the best player on the field. I'm telling you, he can play, he can ride. That's our shout out number 4 right there.
Number 3 from my
you can't coach speed. Guys.
That's right. That's number 3 from my alma mater, Oak Ridge Pioneers quarterback Taylor Crane, the transfer from Evans, the sophomore, throws a beautiful game-winning touchdown to win the game 13-7 over Lake Buena Vista. Thank goodness, because that would have been Lake Buena Vista's first win in history, and I'm glad it wasn't against my Pioneers. So great job, Taylor Crane, the sophomore quarterback. Go Pioneers. Number 2, what do we got, Hayes?
We got Lake Brantley right here. We just talked about this game, so we saw some of these highlights already. But let's take this. We already talked about the Harris twins. Here's a brother, the UCF commit, taking it back 52 yards, changes the momentum, as Dan said earlier, as they call that game, and they end up winning that game 22-21.
Guys, you know we got an offer
We're
this
down to
week.
number 1 right now, baby, from the sideline cam.
Wow, look at this play
right
here.
into your living room, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoop, whoop. Wow.
Let me tell you something, man. That's big time right there. This is sideline cam. Big shout out to the cameraman here on the sideline. Look at number 6, walking in defeat.
Pennick, receiver from Ridge Community. That was also a Saturday game. They played, I believe, at Lake Haines City or something. But, yeah, no one remembers because they blew them out. So good job. Rick Pennick for our number 1 play of this week's top 5 plays. I mean, special top 5. I think there was a lot of great plays this week.
And again, those are the top 5 plays from around the state of Florida.
Yeah, I love that.
And thank you for all the contributors that helped make that happen. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got the head coach from Oviedo, Greg Odierno, and some of the Lions right here at the Ale House here in Oviedo. You're watching The Huddle. We'll be back right after this.
The best part of my job is helping people realize not only their dreams, but also their potential. My name is Dan LaForest, and I am a wealth advisor with Security Financial Management. No matter how good you may be at a skill, it's always important to have a coach to help you refine those skills and game plan for the next challenge. Helping clients realize the process will give them the confidence of knowing that we have taken the appropriate steps to protect themselves and their families.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. it is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
Research shows that more than 30% of all sports injuries are ankle-related. Preventing an injury is key in any sport and applies to any job where you're on your feet all day as well.
Prevent Sprain socks were scientifically designed and engineered for support, stability, and performance.
Stay active with PreventSprainSocks.com.
Many years ago, high school sports had a home.
All right, this is going to be a big football game. The fifth and final state championship game for 1992.
Another edition of Football Friday night here on ABC 7.
About half of the matchup that we expected.
Boom! Oh, wait, no, it's supposed to be up. Yeah, there we go.
Then the Friday night lights suddenly faded away for many of those watching from home. That was then, and this is now. A world in which high school sports around the state have joined the revolution for all fans in one single place. The stakes remain the same, but the script has changed. High school sports has a new home. This is Varsity Sports Network.
Offensively, obviously, DJ Scott plays a big role in it, but talk a little about your quarterback as well. What about this team is different than the ones you've coached in the past?
Yeah, every team's a little bit different. Jackson Latour is our quarterback. He's doing a phenomenal job, junior. So he has all the arm talent in the world. We got some young receivers around him, and so we're just trying to grow and get our consistency down. It takes time, and we're getting there. But really, our strength of our offense is through our O-line and our two stud running backs, and so that's what's going to carry us.
Love that.
I love it, Coach. You talked about your offense. I'm a defensive guy myself. What is it about this Lion defense that You come up against Timber Creek this week. How does this defense look for you? How do they feel for you in this season? What are they going to do for you?
Absolutely. Our defense is a strong point. We had 9 returners coming from last year. Our linebackers, to me, are the best linebackers in the state of Florida.
Yes, sir.
Our middle linebacker, Owen Proth, Noel Keller, Bryson Blanford, and we got a young buck, Joey Joya, who's going to be a special one. And so those 4 linebackers set the tone physically for us, stop the run, make teams pass, and we're opportunistic with that.
I love it, man. I love it.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's talk to some of the Lions here.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'm here, man. Listen, we got the microphone. Let me talk. This is a good-looking group of guys here, guys. And I asked them, y'all ready to play some ball? Yeah. All right, man, let me talk. We got the quarterback right here. So I'm going to lead this in to Balin. He loves quarterback. So, Balin, go ahead and you talk to this young man. He look like he can throw that thing. He can spin it.
Yeah, I've seen it in person. He's a pretty talented player. But how is it playing? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I love his offense. He's definitely one of my favorite offenses I've watched. I've seen a lot of people have success in his offense. So how is it as a quarterback playing in his offense? Obviously putting up big numbers. You're a junior, so this is probably, in my opinion, your most important year in your career. So how is it playing under Coach O's offense?
Oh, it's awesome. It's like a dream come true. Definitely in any offense, you want to throw the ball a lot. So I'm definitely excited for this and my senior year. So
that's awesome. And how is it playing with a running back like DJ Scott? I'm going to be honest with you. When you have a back like that, it opens up everything for the passing game, in my opinion. So how is it playing with a guy knowing that every time you hand him the ball off, it could be 6?
Oh, yeah. Every single time, I'm extremely happy that we have DJ Scott, and I just think he's gonna do good this game.
Nice. Coach Hayes?
I love it. Guys, so I talk about this all the time, man. You know, I love team efforts. I, coach for a very long time. I want to know who's the most fired up guy on this group right here. Who's the guy that everybody knows? Come on over here, man. What's your name?
I'm Noel Keller.
Noel Keller, man. What do you play?
Outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker. So you one of these greats Coach was talking about. Yeah. You a thumper, man, or you just a tackler?
I'm a thumper. I'm a hit. I promise you that.
I love it. Well, you hold this and tell me about your thumping abilities, baby.
I mean, any back you send my way, any receiver, they're not getting past me. I got me over anyone, to be honest. So I got all my linebackers, all my defense over any offense. So I think we got a good chance to go far. I think playoffs, we go far. But yeah.
I love it, man. Great job, man. I see a big guy over here. I got to give the guy some love. Come on in.
That's Ty Hilton. That is the tackle. Look at that mountain there, Hayes.
Listen, man, he blocked out the rest of the team.
Man.
He blocked out the rest of the team.
And he's been over there grinning the entire time in the corner like he's going to get away with something.
Talk to me, man. So you the left tackle, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, left tackle, so you protect the quarterback here. Talk to me about that responsibility. What does that responsibility mean to protect his blind side?
I'm just grateful that he trusts me and to protect him. I love Jackson, man. He's my guy.
I love it, man. And guess what? That's what helps when you call the block, right? You actually care for the guy. You don't want to see him on his back. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, what are you doing here? You got the defensive lineman coming up here this week. What are the plans? What do you look for when you look at film when you have to study?
Just their overall D-line, just going over film every day, just watching Nini, all that stuff. It's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a good one. Well, guess what? VSN will be here to watch it.
That's right.
Dan?
That's right.
Yeah, no, and I'll be on the call there. Coach, tell us about Timber Creek and what you've seen on film. What are the biggest challenges you think the Lions will have this Friday night?
Offensively, they have a nice little running back. He's been banged up last 2 weeks, but he'll be back this week. They have 2 receivers, number 5 and number 1, that they can really go and stretch you vertically. Pretty good O-line. Coach Ziegler's over there coaching them boys up, so they're going to be physical up front. On defense, Mark Jackson has that tight front defense, the 0 and the 4 eyes, plays quarters behind it. So there's holes. We just got to exploit them.
No, and it's going to be a great game. Again, we're going to have that game live right on the VSN Orlando North Daytona channel. Timber Creek and Coach Buckridge come to town.
Dan, I got one more thing, man. I got one more thing. Look, everybody, in my opinion, is important when it comes to a football team. So we're going to let all the players introduce themselves, maybe say something about them, and then we're going to get you guys a break. But I want you guys to understand who you're going to see on Friday night on VSN's Game of the Week.
Go ahead. Talk to us, big man.
Ty Hilton, left tackle.
Zachary Scharf, cornerback.
Nick Williams, D-line. Levi Thorpe, right guard.
Come on, guys. Speak up, man.
Bryce Lesser, center.
There we go. Oh, there we go.
Jackson Latour, quarterback.
Okay. Hope he's that vocal on Friday.
Noel Keller, outside linebacker. I don't care who you are. I'm going through that.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Omari Wyatt, athlete. Jacob Thielen, wide receiver.
Top of the D-line. Owen Proth, middle linebacker.
Oh, wow. Trying to get out of the way.
Cortez Ford, play nose.
Matthias James, free safety.
Speak up.
Owen Aycock, strong safety.
Marvin Garcia-Vidot, right guard.
I think
I'ma
that's
tell you
that is
this,
the DeVito
Coach.
lines right
If
there.
you ever make any checks, you better do hand signals because they're not talking loud enough, Coach.
We're already
we got to
ahead
get
of that.
fired up
Hey,
for this
hey,
thing,
that
man.
stadium's going to be rocking and rolling this Friday night. Well, guys, that is the Oviedo Lions. Look for them this Friday night on Varsity Sports Network, Orlando North Daytona channel. We're going to have pregame at 6:30, kickoff at 7. We're going to take a quick break. We come back. Myself, Balin, Coach Hayes. We're going to talk about the big games coming around Central Florida. We'll be back right after this.
Clap it up for the Lions in the building. Let's go, baby.
Searching for meaning in a relentless world. Always connected, but somehow alone. Trapped by illusion. We offer another path where the battle to belong begins. Awakened by a calling. United by the cause you fight for. No one can take away what it means to be among the few, the proud, the Marines.
Are you in the market for the finest athletic apparel available? Check out theimperialpoint.com. Fully sublimated designs, top quality, made in the USA apparel for any team and any fan. Check them out today at theimperialpoint.com or give them a call at 800-801-4884. Imperial Point Apparel, made in the USA.
In sports, we wear all types of equipment to protect ourselves from injury. One of the most important, yet neglected parts of the body are the ankles.
Research shows that more than 30% of all sports injuries are ankle-related. Preventing an injury is key in any sport and applies to any job where you're on your feet all day as well.
Prevent Sprain socks were scientifically designed and engineered for support, stability, and performance.
Stay active with PreventSprainSocks.com.
Marijuana can impair your ability to drive, and that affects much more than just you. Drive baked, get busted.
Got a brother too.
All right, welcome back to the Huddle right here on the Varsity Sports Network. I'm Dan LaForest, Coach Kyle Hayes, Balin Trujillo. Balin, it's time for the top 10.
I love this segment because we get to really explain ourselves on why some of these teams are still ranked, especially with some of these records. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of evaluation that goes into this, and obviously strength of schedule matters. So when you guys talk about records, you guys are commenting on the Instagram page or Twitter pages. You guys got to be realistic. I mean, guys, we're not putting up teams that play cupcakes every week. We're putting up teams that are actually competing and are doing well in those competition games. So that's what matters when it comes to these rankings, just like you will see in college football, just like you would see when they do the power rankings, the NFL. Everything matters when it comes to strength of schedule. So with that being said, we're We're going to go with our top 5 private schools first. Rounding it off at number 5, who just entered back into our top 5, is Foundation, guys. Foundation had a phenomenal win this past week at home. That was a game I did not see coming. I think that Foundation, after they got blown out, I didn't see too much about them, and then they really showed themselves this week in a big win. So what do you guys think about Foundation coming at number 5?
No, I agree. Coach Andre Walker's done a really good job with them the last couple of years since he took over the team. And Foundation, again, what we got to realize is it's a young season. I've always said as a coach, Balin, you don't know who you are till week 4.
Yeah, you're
well,
right.
Guess where we are, brother?
Week 5, baby. We're past
week
5.
Now. It's time to start figuring out who you're going to be and whether or not you're going to make the playoffs by week 7 or week 8. So Foundation Academy has the momentum. Let's see what they do here over the next couple of weeks.
I'm just going to say, I called it.
Gosh, here he goes.
That's right.
He did. He's the only one, too. So. All right, number 4 comes in Windermere Prep. This is a surprise this year, guys. They are dominating offensively. This is something that was different than last year. They are really rolling right now. I don't know what they did over there. I would love to go see it because the school right down the street from them is not rolling so much. So I wonder if these kids are starting to go to the private school route and go to Windermere Prep because right now, if you're interested in that area, you might want to look into this resort that just seems to be sitting on the corner over there in Windermere. So Windermere comes in at 4-0, unbeaten, just came off a blowout win against the Ridge team over there in Riverdale. Number 4. So number 3.
Hang on. Let's talk about Windermere Prep real quick.
Coach
Brian Simmons and I have talked numerous times over the last couple of weeks. He's high on this group. They got a dude named Jackson Bennett.
Oh, yeah. He's been talked about every year.
Who is ranked nationally in rushing yards. Wow. Was the Orlando Touchdown Club Player of the Week from a few weeks back.
Okay.
The kid is a football player.
He scored like 10 touchdowns last year, something ridiculous in a football game. I mean, this kid, and he kicks too. Also kicks.
And he plays defense. He plays both ways. So he is on the field the entire time. So, Coach, Windermere Prep may be for real. And guess what game we've got here in a few weeks?
Windermere Prep?
Windermere Prep at Lake Highland Prep.
Man, I cannot wait for that football game.
I can't wait to call it because Coach is on fire. And guess what? Those Lakers are on fire as well, too. Beautiful campus. If you haven't been there,
gorgeous.
Go check it out.
It's like a resort. I just said that.
Let me tell you something, man. It is beautiful, and they are on fire, man.
TFA comes in at number 3. Another surpriser there, in my opinion. The Royals, not the Lions. The Royals are the real deal. They are also 4-0, along with the Windermere Prep. CFCA, this is the team, guys. This is the team we're going to be looking at. They're only 2-0. Both their wins have been over 28 points. They are lighting it up. Their first victory was a blowout win over Mount Dora Christian. That's when I got me surprised. Dan, you texted me after the game. You said they may be for real. I was like, you're dang right, they're for real. I talk to Coach Cam on a regular basis. I'm also partnered with them, so I'm very close with the CFCA staff. They love this football team. Jacob Kanya, the quarterback, is lighting it up just like he did last year as a sophomore. He's only a junior. Guys, this is an exciting football team to watch offensively. If you want to see offensive explosion, this is a team to look out for, and they're only 2-0, but they are our number 2 ranked team.
And you talked about the quarterback, but I'm going to tell you who's driving that bus is the running back, Marcus McCrimmon.
Man,
the kid has been on fire since he's been there. He's in his senior year. And I'm going to tell you, you see 2-0, they were robbed a game. It's postponed to later in the year at New Smyrna Beach.
We're going to blow those guys out.
And I can tell you, I talked to Coach Campbell after that game. He is more pumped to play that team what they do here in a few weeks.
Yeah, public versus private, that's a statement game.
Yeah, definitely, man. I had an opportunity to meet those guys, man, over there at a camp they did with Warren Sapp and Lowood and those guys, man. Great staff. They building it up. Since I moved here to the Orlando area, man, CFCA is around the corner. I've always seen it, and they finally got a staff in there that's going to do it right and do it big, man. They got big things coming on the horizon for that team, man.
Yep, and our number 1 team, at no surprise, until they get beat, Lake Highland Prep, the defending state champions. They are rolling. It hasn't even been close. I think they've only allowed 7 or 14 points all year. That's a team you're going to want to watch for in the private school rankings. Moving on to our top 10 schools that are here in Central Florida. Number 10 squeaks in. They are still a powerhouse. Lake Mary at 3-1. They are our number 10 ranked team. They almost fall to the top 10. They had a tough loss against Lake Brantley by 1 point on a 2-point conversion. This team is for real. I think they beat a quality Oviedo team that we're going to talk about later on. They're also they've got a freshman quarterback that needs to get speed up with the process, and Noah Grubbs, which I think he will. They're still an exciting football team and still definitely one of the top 10 teams, right, Coach?
No, absolutely. And the thing is I'm looking at this. You've got Lake Mary. Lake Mary has a young quarterback. We've talked about him. Yeah. I think he is going to mature very quickly over the next few weeks.
Earned the job outright as well.
And they have got so much. And again, Coach Marler's defense, I think this is the crazy thing about Lake Mary, Balin. Every year you sit here and look at Lake Mary and you see the number of seniors they lose, and you're going, what does Lake Mary have? And come this time every year, they answer that question.
Yeah, they do, and they're a powerhouse. I would say consistently winning football games. It might not be pretty, but they win games, a lot of games.
And Coach Scott Perry is the dean of Seminole County, longest tenured coach now in Seminole County, and I tell you, he's got those Rams ready.
And I'll tell you to answer your question, right? When you see a team that consistently loses seniors but consistently comes back, that means the culture is right.
Yes.
The program is right. It's not the team, but the culture, the program, and there's a lot of buy-in from the school, the administration, and the community. So it goes to show you, and to the quarterback's point, being a freshman coming in, playing down to the wire like that, getting thrown off because of weather, have to come back. Now it's like, oh, wait a minute, my nerve, and still come in and perform.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, those Rams are going to be hitting hard soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming in at number 9 is the team that just beat the Rams on Saturday. Again, that Dan called the Lake Brantley Patriots. Now, again, they were down 21-7 in the fourth quarter. Historic gameplay by Braxton Woodson brought those guys back in a 1-point win for a 2-point conversion, but they are now our number 9 ranked team at 3-1. Number 8, here's the team, right? We talk about the record, Cocoa, right? Cocoa Tigers, now they're 1-2. They got that win in a blowout fashion, mollywop fashion, destroying fashion. Any type of fashion you want at 76-0 at halftime, that's a
letter
fashion.
writing fashion.
Right, yeah. When you have your quarterback that throws 16 for 16 in a game and a half, that's insane. But, yeah, they deserve to be there, and they're going to start rolling through the meat of their schedule. Number 7, Lake Mineola. They are a powerhouse. I talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago about their strength of schedule. I thought they got a quality win in Wekiva. Yes, Wekiva came back, but they were up 30-7 in that football game. If a lot of special team play doesn't go the opposite way, they win in a blowout fashion. But credit to Wekiva, and we're going to talk about them a little later in our predictions. But Lake Mineola is also a team that to reckon with for sure, right, Dan?
Absolutely, and the thing is, going back to Cocoa, I think the biggest thing here is they're battle-tested first.
Yes.
And the other thing, too, is Blake Boda has not been with his team very long.
You're right.
There's a chemistry issue. You and I being former quarterbacks,
Yeah.
we know this. You have to have a certain chemistry, and it's not just with your wide receivers.
Yeah.
It's a leadership thing.
Especially
and
in
I
big
think
games.
Exactly.
Yes.
I think Blake Boda is going to mature in that
Cocoa will be up there.
relationship here in the next couple of weeks.
And the biggest thing about it, they've been tested early, right? You got a new quarterback in, been tested, going through the hard times. Now he's going to catch the rhythm of this deal. Now he's going to be able to deliver the ball.
Yeah.
Big on them. And we'll talk about Jones as well with strength of schedule early and how that thing will go ahead and work for them in their favor on the back end of their schedule.
And Lake Mineola, we've got actually next at 9 o'clock, we got the Florida Gridiron Report.
Yeah.
Coach Walter Banks joins me and Larry Bluestein,
Nice.
so you're going to learn a little bit more about those Lake Mineola Hawks.
So we're going to roll off these next couple ones right now, and then we're going to get into our favorite part of the segment, the predictions. We have number 6, Osceola, has a big game this week against Rockledge. We'll talk about that a little later. They kind of need to really – I mean, they've proven themselves in losses, which is ironically to say, but they are still the real deal. Obviously, number 5, Jones, coming a heartbreaker loss to Edgewater. They are still a powerhouse. They've lost 2 games to 2 highly ranked opponents in Edgewater and on the road at Duncanville. Rockledge, this is the team to look out for. They've only given up 7 points in 4 games. Look at their scores, guys. 38-0, 45-0, 35-0, 45-7. These are blowout wins for Rockledge. They're a team to look out for at number 4. Number 3, the team that keeps rising, Winter Park. They are unbeaten, 4-0. They also keep blowing out. The most impressive win, obviously, on the road in Georgia. Completely blew out a team that is ranked high over there up north. And then, obviously, our top 2 teams have not changed since week 1. Edgewater comes in at number 2 and number 1 at Seminole. Until one of those teams lose, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. And I think Seminole, obviously, is the best team in Central Florida.
Yeah, I think we have a couple bubble teams, too. I think the team that was just here, Oviedo,
Yes.
is on the bubble waiting to crack this top 10. And the other one I really like, I've liked here recently,
Haggerty.
is Haggerty.
Yeah, I knew it.
Haggerty right now is undefeated,
Yeah,
and I
they
think
are.
they are very close to breaking this thing, and they've
Yeah.
got some upcoming big games coming up.
That's right.
But one more, and they've got a big test we're going to talk about later in the show.
Yes, sir, Dan. I think this is time. This is our favorite time. But do you want to go to commercial break before we get into these?
Yeah, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into the big games here in Week 5. You're watching The Huddle right here on the Varsity Sports Network, and we'll be back right after these messages.
Marijuana can impair your ability to drive, and that affects much more than just you. Drive baked, get busted.
Searching for meaning in a relentless world. Always connected, but somehow alone. Trapped by illusion. We offer another path, where the battle to belong begins. Awakened by a calling, united by the cause you fight for. No one can take away what it means to be among the few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington, an original shark from Shark Tank. Protect your ankles with Prevent Sprain socks.
In sports, we wear all types of equipment to protect ourselves from injury. We use helmets, mouth guards, shoulder pads, chest protectors, and knee, elbow, and shin pads for protection and prevention. One of the most important, yet neglected parts of the body are the ankles.
Research shows that more than 30% of all sports injuries are ankle-related, and 62% of all ankle sprains happen during practice and training. Just think about it. Very few sports can be played with an ankle injury, and it can take 1 to 3 weeks to heal, sometimes months to get back to full strength and mobility. Preventing an injury is key in any sport and applies to any job where you're on your feet all day as well.
Prevent Sprain socks were scientifically designed and engineered for support, stability, and performance.
Stay active with PreventSprainSocks.com.
Right here on the Varsity Sports Network, Dan LaForest, Coach Kyle Hayes, Balin Trujillo, and we've got a super fan guest picker, Ben Thorpe. Yes. Oviedo dad and alumnus of Lake Highland Prep. Ben, welcome to the huddle, man.
Thank you for having me, guys.
All right, so we're going to get into this, Balin, start rolling off those big games
Here
of
we
week
go,
5.
the prediction segment, everybody's favorite segment, especially when it comes to Twitter. Okay, we're going to start with our Thursday night game. We have a VSN Orlando North Daytona channel tomorrow night. If you're not doing anything, tune into that. There's going to be a great game. South Lake out Mount Dora. Guys, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going Mount Dora. I'm not even going to break this game down. What do you guys think? Hayes, what do you think? Mount Dora?
You said Mount Dora, so that means I'm going South Lake.
Oh, that's another win in my category.
I'm leaning towards South Lake.
There we go. By the way, Ben Thorpe, he is the father of Levi Thorpe. He's also a Oviedo Lion. You'll see him on Friday night as our game of the week. Again, great super fan. We're excited to have him here. All right, our next game, number 5, Foundation at OCP. One would have thought that would have been a big game. OCP needs to prove themselves. I'm going to go Foundation. I'm a believer now. What do you guys think?
I have to say I'm a believer as well, man. Foundation has not let me down yet, and they are the foundation to Coach Hayes' pick.
That's right.
There you go.
And I'll lean towards Foundation as well.
Okay, Foundation. Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
He's picking for me, by the way.
That's right. Okay, Dan, yeah, right. All right, number 4, Windermere Prep versus Pinecrest. 89% of the fan votes have Windermere Prep in this game. I'm not even going to – actually, Pinecrest is pretty good. They're 3-1, but I like the Lakers in this matchup. Windermere blows them out.
Wrong colors, right name. I'm going for the Lakers, baby.
Yeah,
Windermere
run Jackson
Prep.
Bennett until they stop him.
Yes.
Bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Windermere Prep's got this one.
No doubt. Number 2, CFCA. They are unbeaten versus Seffner Christian, a historic powerhouse in a way for the SSAC. Fan votes has 91% having CFCA winning this game. Jacob Kanya lights it up. They're going to blow this team out and keep moving forward with that explosive offense. What do you guys think?
CFCA as well, man. Like I said, I live right in the neighborhood. I'm right there. I can see the school out my window. Can't go against those guys.
Not a blowout. Close game, Balin.
Oh, finally, Dan. Finally,
Absolutely.
Dan.
Leaning towards CFCA on that one as well.
CFCA Eagles. All right, last game for the private schools on Friday night. Number 1, Lake Highland Prep. My boy Ben Thorpe's alma mater. They are 3-0 versus Trinity Prep with Coach Cruzick. It's going to be over by halftime. 97% have Lake Highland Prep. Your Highlanders are going to blow out Trinity Prep. Not even close.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. Not even thinking twice about that one.
You
That's
can
an
leave
old
at halftime.
rivalry, Lake Highland all the way.
Matter of fact, that game will be so over that you guys get to enjoy your game on VSN that night with Oviedo. That's going to be broadcasted live, so you don't have to worry about missing Lake Highland in that one. That'll be open.
So Balin with a mollywop prediction.
Yeah, mollywop.
Okay.
And I'm going with it as well, the Highlander. Y'all remember old school, the TV, the Highlander? That's what this is going to be, man. It's going to be a TV show. It's going to be a movie.
Yes, here we go. Now, top 10 teams here. We're going to go through these quickly. Number 9, Lake Brantley proved themselves last week against the Rams. They play Wekiva, an interesting team, a bubble team. They're 2-2. Fan votes have 56% Lake Brantley. I'm going to go with the fans. I think Lake Brantley proved themselves against a big win against Lake Mary. They're the real deal.
I become a fan of Coach Schultz. Right here, we're going with Wekiva, baby, the Mustangs.
Wow, whoa.
I concur. I like Wekiva in this one.
Wow, okay, I'm the only one here. We'll see.
Let's roll.
I'll tell you what, now I'm going to talk about this right now. Lake Brantley's coming off an emotional win.
That's true.
Will there be a letdown? But Wekiva is playing better ball every week. That is going to be the game we're going to be talking about next week.
No doubt. Number 8, Cocoa at Melbourne. Melbourne is 3-1. Interesting. Could this be a trap game? I'm going Cocoa in a blowout win. They take care of business on the road. 94% of our fan votes have Cocoa in this one.
Cocoa let me down my very first week, but guess what? They got it back rolling. I'm going with Cocoa on this deal.
I agree. I think it'll be over by halftime, Cocoa.
Yes.
Yep.
Not so fast, my friend.
Wow, are you serious, Dan?
We got 2 minutes, so we better be fast.
Yeah.
Melbourne's going to keep it close.
Wow, okay.
Let's go. Roll quick.
All right, number 5, Jones versus West Orange. West Orange have the hurt bug. Jones mollywops West Orange at home. 86% Tigers.
I go with the Tigers.
West Orange.
West Orange, all right.
Here we go. Edgewater versus Apopka. The fans have voted. 79% of our votes have Edgewater winning this game. I think Cedric Baxter's way too much for those Papa Blue Darters. Dan LaForce, your boys, unfortunately, are going down this week. Edgewater rolls. Coach Duke has those guys rolling.
And Cedric Baxter's too much for everybody. He's rushing for over 200
yards a game. Are you going to pick against Apopka? Can you please pick?
I don't pick, man. I'm just laying out the facts.
Listen, in 4-rod trust, talk to us, Ben.
I think Apopka is a perennial powerhouse. I like Apopka.
Whoa! Upset alert.
All right, here we go.
All right, our last game before game of the week. Seminole at Venice. Venice is the defending state champions. They are rocky, but they've only had 2 losses to powerhouses. Seminole is on the road in this game. I would have wished it was here in Central Florida. Guys, Seminole's the real deal. I won't pick against the Noles this week. They get the win down south. What do you guys think?
3 touchdowns.
By who?
By Seminole. They're going to
Seminole
beat them by
3?
21 or
Whoa!
more.
Listen, I have to say this real quick. Venice has one of the most dynamic pass rushers in Damon Wilson in the game. You know what I'm talking about, Damon? Listen, this guy is dynamic, but unfortunately Venice is not as high, so guess what? I'm going with Seminole.
Seminole, Luke Rucker at quarterback.
Yep, real deal. Former Oviedo line. All right, so here we go. Game of the week. Timber Creek versus Oviedo. I'm going to go with the Lions here. I think Oviedo takes care of business behind the running back, DJ Scott, and even close. They're winning this football game. What do you think, man? Of course.
Coach O's got these guys rolling high. Warrior mindset. DJ's running that ball real hard. The offensive line is stepping up and stopping it. I got Oviedo in this one all day.
They need to control A.J. Williams, though. He's a phenomenal quarterback at Timber Creek, but the Lions are way too much, and I think they get into our rankings next week, Dan.
Yeah, very well could be. Now, I can tell you right now, Timber Creek, solid coaching. But you nailed it. They're going to focus on DJ Scott. And there is so much talent on that Oviedo Lion defense.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's really – I think the defense makes a difference in that game, Balin.
Guys, we have a good one this Friday night, guys. Thank you for joining us at the Huddle, Dan.
Yeah.
And Kyle Hayes.
I'll tell you what, that's it for the Central Florida Huddle. Get ready. The Florida Ground Report comes up next here at 9 o'clock with me and Larry Bluestein. From Miller's Ale House here in Oviedo, Florida, you're watching